Alright guys, vibe check. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change out the starter on a 2003 Harley-Davidson Sportster 1200. This is going to be my first time doing it, so I'm going to walk you through it as I kind of figure it out. You're going to figure it out with me. I'm going to tell you what happened. So every day I rode this bike for the past year or so. You know, it's parked outside, it's exposed to the elements, hot and cold, condensation, stuff like that. So, you know, things will corrode, but everything was fine and dandy until one day I tried to crank it over, and then the crank was super weak. And it kind of freaked me out, and then it was intermittent. Like, it'd crank super weak, I'd ride around, then it'd fire up right away. Then it'd be firing perfect all day, and then finally out of nowhere, it would just be a weak crank. First thought is, the battery. It was over 3 years old, so I was like, you know what, it's probably at its end. Let me just change it out real quick and we'll be good to go. Changed the battery out and it still had a weak crank. Of course, some people will say, why would you change the battery if you didn't know the problem? Guys, I daily this thing, so it's just a peace of mind to finally clear out a battery and not worry about that for another 3 years or so, 4, I don't know how long. But yeah, so I crank it over, it's real weak, and I just check all the grounds, all the connections from the solenoid to starter, the key switch, everything, and it all checks out and it's still cranking weak until recently I was at a gas station, tried cranking it over real weak one time, go to the gas station, get gas, and as I'm about to leave and crank it over again, nothing. Just clicking all the way back, not even a click or a sound. So I was able to push start this bike, get it home, parked it, and I took my other bike to go get another key switch, which, you know, AutoZone and O'Reilly's have it. Exactly the same one that I had before, except new. Hoping that would be the problem. Replaced it all, everything's good. Turn it and literally not even a click whatsoever. Swapped out a starter relay with a friend's bike with the same year. Still nothing. So finally, last thing to do, this is my last bet, was trying to manually push the starter solenoid switch by drilling a small hole there and then just, you know, pushing a pin at ignition, and it wasn't really firing at all. Nothing, same thing. So last but not least, I knew this thing was finally faulty, so I undid these two bolts, shook it loose a little bit. You know, I didn't actually take it out there, you know, I didn't take all this out. I just undid these bolts and moved it around a bit and tapped it, and then it actually was cranking, and it was like kind of like, you know, it would click, and now it made way. It pretty much made a difference when I moved that. Tried it again, and finally you can see it kind of sparking and arcing back there. So this thing was definitely on its way out. So $130 later, shout out to Amazon. We got ourselves a new starter motor. Here it is, y'all. 130 bucks to my door. There it is. I mean, I think there is a black version of it, but it just wasn't going to be available at the same time as this was. This was going to get here sooner. And it wasn't a difference in price either. So here it is. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You got to start off by opening the primary, which I already emptied out the primary, and now we're going to put on a jack and open it up. So to start off on taking this off, yes, clearly it's a bunch of Allen bolts, but you got to loosen up the clutch cable. Back this out. So back out the adjuster screw, bring the clutch down. And then fair warning, I'm showing you how to get to your starter, because that's what I did. But if you're not familiar with how to put everything back, as far as, watch, you'll see this part. Once you get to this part and you're not aware of how to do the adjustment or what to feel for putting your clutch cable back together and all that stuff, there are videos for that. This video is not going to have it, but I'm just showing you how to get to your starter. And then whatever you back out or take out of your out of there, you want to put it off to the side so you don't lose it.
Let me take that little thing out.
Yeah.
And then you wiggle it, and you pull it out, and you place it on top of that other thing.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, so there's a series of Allen bolts that you're going to be removing from the Damn, this is pretentious. Guys, just look up how to remove your primary cover first. Or you could skip all of this if you already know how. And, yeah, I was just showing how annoying it was to take off the shift lever. Yeah, pop all these off. There's a sequence to putting them back on, like torqued, but taking them off, yeah, you just go make your way around. Oh yeah, and this thing you have to back out the primary chain tensioner, loosen that as low as it needs to go, so no tension on the chain. Wiggle it off. There it is. You probably saw the dowel pin move on the left side. That's something a lot of people forget right here. You have to put that back on, because if you don't, you will have big trouble trying to align it. And this is something I learned too. I learned it from Bear, but Bear learned it from YouTube, so probably JP Cycles, one of those legit guys. Make sure you put your bolts in order on cardboard like that, so you know where they go. Those are the only 2 bolts you need to do to take off your starter. It's just, you gotta do all this, and I hated it, but whatever, it's necessary if you're gonna do your own stuff. But take that out. And then the one on the right's tricky because you can see the teeth right there. Backing that out, and boom, you can already see the starter ready to fall out. So it's fairly simple. Undo any major cables. I don't know, there it is, it's off. So that part's self-explanatory on how to remove that, because it's just, there it is. That's the only cable that's connected to it. That's from your battery terminal. And pretty set from here. Oh yeah, well that's the wire you have to undo. And I will fast forward to it actually on. This is months later after I already did this, so it's still there. I just make sure you get a new starter gasket too, because that's where a lot of primary leaks came from. That's where my primary leak came from on this. But let me walk around to the other side and show you. Yeah, it's all there. It doesn't leak anymore. It used to leak a lot when I would ride, but it's because of the gasket. So put everything back together. Like I said, watch the videos, guys. Watch the videos on how to do the clutch adjustment when you're putting everything back together so you don't F that up. But the bike starts. And like I said, it's been months, every day riding it on and off a million times, and it works. I hope this video helps somebody. Did it help you? Did you learn?
Yeah, I learned so much.
You think you could do it by yourself?
Of course.
Because of this video?
It's easy.
It's not easy, guys, but you just follow the steps. Well, I guess it is easy in comparison to a lot of other stuff, but yeah.
Dude, my eyes closed.
Have a great night, y'all. We'll have another video soon.